talk about setting the tone and how to really find the perfect music and sound effects for your podcast. So, kicking off with the very first thing you should start to think about is the tone and the style of your podcast. Like, if you're looking to attract someone in corporate who's a CEO, who's more serious, like, you're gonna wanna use sound that's much different than somebody who's like a stay-at-home mom and bubbly and fun and wants to feel like this show is just like her safe space. Maybe you're more spiritual or you love jazz music. Like, I want to encourage you to really connect with the vision that you have for your show, like the theme song, like what represents you and your brand, but also something that you feel like your audience is truly going to connect with and relate to. This is like one of the only opportunities that you have in the first couple of seconds to really excite someone and bring this show into reality, right? Like make it feel the way you want it to feel. So I want to emphasize like the importance of this. And I will say, when you hear your song, you're probably going to know it. Okay. I will say, like, this took me way too long, way longer than it should have, to figure out my music for my show. And I will say that I have changed it. Okay. And I know that kind of goes against what I just said about using it as your brand theme song, because it's not really something you'd want to change. But as you grow, as you shift, as your market changes and evolves is with you, you might end up changing your song too. And that's okay. Right? Be open to where you're meant to take this experience. And so for some of you, that might look like changing things, and that's okay. But pick one that's going to represent where you're at right now and really what you want your show to embody. So, we want to look for royalty free music when possible. I will say that I've used Audio Jungle. That was actually where I found my very first song. That was from Audio Jungle. So, what you can do is like feel free to type in whatever your vibe is. Like, you could do happy, uplifting music, right? Something like that. Type it in. You're looking for audio. And you can actually go through and you can start to listen and get a feel for, what you like, what you don't like. Right? So I will say, like, when you're looking at the audio track here, one thing to start to pay attention to is you want to have a song that has kind of multiple areas where it like goes down, gets quieter, right? Because what that's going to do is allow you to pull different sections of the song and use it in different places, right? And then it will naturally come to a close, like fizzle out on its own, rather than like you needing to get in there and like make the song go down or go away. It's just going to naturally happen. So that's what I've made sure to do in my songs that I use. So let's see, like this one here. If I can give you an example. It's taking longer than I thought it would. Okay, so you saw that little ding at the end? That's what I'm referring to. That, and then it gives you like multiple entryways. Like, you can tell it's the same song, but it has like different levels to it or different parts that you can use. So I really like that. So look for one that kind of ends in a way that sounds like cool and funky. And maybe has a couple different endings. Like, let's look at this one.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Right? So like that's how I would start looking for the ending. So you want a few different options there. And then in the beginning, I really like it to just it's got to like feel like your vibe. Like, I want to emphasize that. That's where you got to hook them, right? You want them to just stick around, and even if they're just listening to the song because they don't really know you yet as a host, even if they just want to listen because there's a cool song there, that would be great. I don't run my song for very long in the show. I want to just kind of like get to it. but you can have your song kind of fizzle out in the background and play behind your voice. So just make sure that you're finding something that's in alignment with you. So you could look up uplifting music, you could look up motivational or inspiring or suspenseful, or, just start to think of words that represent your brand in this way that you could find music to and find it here. Now you'll see you could also look at bestsellers, newest, trending, best rated, all the things there, right? So you can find them this way. Then you got to purchase them. Make sure you're buying the correct license where it's okay that you're using this in like a public place and that people are going to be listening to you as well. So just make note of that when you're making your purchase. And you see they range, but they're pretty reasonable in regards to like getting your music, right? So that's how I would use Audio Jungle. It's cool that you're able to listen to the whole song. So I love that. This is actually Premium Beat. This is what I use for my recent podcast episode. And then I also recommend this to all the clients that we work with and help them launch their podcasts. So you can do something similar here, right? Search by genre, mood, instrument, keyword, whatever you want to use here. So let's say you want to use like a ukulele. You could just type that in there. And then you can do the same thing, right? You just start to listen to these and see what you vibe with. I just would like vote on this list, right? So you kind of, it can be time consuming for sure, especially if you're going to be kind of picky with it. Before even doing this, or if you're starting to do this and you're kind of confused, go listen to a couple podcast episodes, even just the first 30 seconds, and just hear what their music sounds like, and see if you can find one that's kind of similar to the vibe that you're looking for. It'd be helpful to also search inside of the niche type of podcast that you have. So like business podcasts or how-to podcasts or education or parenting or whatever you're inside of in terms of niche. And see what kind of music is resonating most with you, right? And then just kind of go down this list here. Like, I like that vibe. Okay, cool. And then when you find a song that works for you, you don't need a subscription, so don't worry about that. That's only if you're going to get 5 new songs per month, which if you're just using it for this, you don't need to do that. You would just do this single track. Okay, so you can use this on web and you can use this personal and corporate. It says you can't use it on TV, radio, apps, or in a store. So podcast is right up there with radio. So click it to the premium. So TV and radio in one country. So double check, make sure that you are going to be okay with this licensing. So feel free to look it up on here. Okay. Websites and social media, online streaming, it's personal use only. Let's see if it actually writes podcast here. Yeah, pilots and public broadcasting only. Okay. In-store displays, yeah. Yeah, so you would definitely need to do the premium version on here. Okay, so just be mindful where you're getting your music, like where it's going to go. You can press the download button and you'll be able to actually hear like specific clips of the song. It's going to have like, it'll say like premiumbeat.com in this section of the tracks. But yeah, see if you can find one that resonates with you. It'll also tell you the length of the show here. It's okay to have it around 2.5 minutes. But like I said, just make sure that it has those transitions that align with you and have fun. This is going to be the mood. Like, look at this. It says mood right here. This is going to set the mood for your show. So make sure that you're finding something that feels good, that feels like the type of mood that you want to be bringing to your show and to your audience. Right? Okay. And then check out these licenses. Make sure that you're getting the right one on this site as well. Okay. Because that's going to change things. It's going to change the price. All right. But I believe you can always repurchase a new license as your show grows. So if you don't want to change your show's song music and you just want to change, like the amount of people who are actually listening to it, you can upgrade or buy a new license at a later date too. So if you're just getting started and you want to have it up to like a specific amount of downloads, then that's fine. That's fine to upgrade it and re-download a new license later. So have fun. If you have questions, feel free to reach out in our Facebook group, and just excited to hear what you come up with. Have fun.